as at the time we spoke, when the conference had gone halfway, we thought that the military option was completely off the cards. Later on, we heard that they told the ECOWAS have told the military to move, and be on standby. So, what's the significance of that?
Well, when you're on standby, it's like counting from 5 to 0.
To 0.
And it can be very debilitating. And we need to consider the actual speech made by our presiding head of state, Mr. Tinubu, when he said that he still preferred dialogue,
yes,
and diplomatic option, because within the country 99% of Nigerians don't want to go to war. And there have been a lot of echoes, noise,
yes,
caution by elders, by the youth, by everybody, that we have a hell of a lot of militating, debilitating activities currently raging in Nigeria. To add the dimension of warfare, means hell. You are going to be committing the younger generation, because I hope if you think that war is like a tea party, you must be dreaming.
Yes.
You never know, it's only the starting point, you don't know
the end. So
why add into what will add more pain to our people? Our funds that are extremely very, very low now will have to be committed to it. Or you think those people who are at the underbelly of this crisis will fund it? No.
Okay, so if I can fast forward, what is our interest in all this?
Absolutely.
Nigeria. I'm talking of individual interests.
Yeah.
What is our own interest as a country, Nigeria? What is our interest in this?
Now, let me tell you, I also taught at the National War College.
Okay.
I have also been to the United States Naval War College. When it comes to strategic planning and thinking, you are told that the only time you can commit your country to war will be when one of your national interests is abridged.
Yes.
That's when you fight to do that. So we have our defined national interests: protection of lives and properties of our people, protection of our resources within the confines of this entity called Nigeria. Now, what is the role of Niger with Nigeria? What have they done to affect any of our national interests?
None.
Nothing. Rather, we have interest in making sure that Kanji Dam continues to produce power. The Jeba Dam continues to produce power. And where do they get the water from? River Niger. River Niger comes, the source of River Niger is from Futajalon Island in Sierra Leone. And it snakes all through, going through Niger also, before it enters Kebbi State to go to Kainji. If by any chance they dam it for irrigation or for whatever, there will be less water in Kainji, no power supply in Nigeria. That is one of the major reasons which people didn't realize. That's why we are supplying to guarantee that they don't dam the River Niger. We keep giving them light.
Now we switched off the lights.
We have stopped it now. So what are we trying to do?
May I add that I'm sure the Nigerians, hopefully all this will be over soon, but the Nigerians are going to think twice about that agreement now.
Yeah, they sure will.
Yes.
You know, so look at the heart of nuclear power plant is uranium. They are one of the largest producers of these raw materials, uranium. That material it's readily available in Niger. That's why you had a coup in Guinea.
Okay.
You had a coup in Burkina Faso. You had a coup in Mali. You had a coup in Chad. And there is still trouble in Sudan.
And ECOWAS never moved in on those.
They didn't. Why? If there is no underbelly, issue militating against this, why are you now interested in moving by force? ECOWAS is purely an economic cooperation agency for the whole of West Africa. It is not like NATO. Even in Europe, you have the European Union, which is the economic cooperation within the European countries. NATO is the military organization, and not all members of Euro are members of NATO.
Not all members of EU are members of NATO.
Not all members are members of NATO. So in our own case, the only part of the military involvement, which in the ECOWAS organization, if there is a need for a peacekeeping in any country, peacekeeping, not trying to
overturn
government and change one government to the people, let them learn. It's a learning process. We have experienced it. We know how terrible it is to have a military government, because it means, there are three arms of government: the legislative arm, the executive, and the judiciary. In a military administration, the legislative arm is not there, which means the people are not represented. So how do you get the feedback if you are in government and you don't know the feelings of the people?
Shouldn't we be thinking twice before deploying our soldiers in case it backfires on us?
The military organization is subject to the civil authority.
Yes.
That's why you have a commander-in-chief.
Yes.
The Army Council is headed by the commander-in-chief.
Yes.
The Air Force Council is headed by the commander-in-chief. The Navy Board is headed by the commander-in-chief. But by the time they keep asking you, go and prepare, I would expect every service chief to have called the top echelon to discuss their capacities, their lack of equipment, the impact it will have, and all that, and allow the chief to go and brief the commander-in-chief.
Do you think Al Jazeera believe the report that says that they were not consulted? Is that how things are done?
No.
Would it be possible for a commander-in-chief to make a declaration of war without consulting his military? Is that possible?
That's suicide. Very suicidal. Very suicidal.
So we hope that's not...
You commit your men to the war front. The young boys, they are to obey orders. If peradventure, like the Russian foreign minister said yesterday, that is advising the ECOWAS leaders to think twice in moving troops into Niger.
Russian.
That's the Russian foreign minister yesterday speaking. What does that portend? We want to bring a theater of war to Africa, next door to our country. And once the war starts, you never know how it will end up.
In terms of strategy, is it good to go to negotiations first with a threat?
That's no strategy.
I see.
That's no strategy. You can, now, okay, it's still very fresh. But the pronouncement from ECOWAS leaders to say we are giving you 7 days.
Yes.
To me, sounds like you think you are in a small teaching classroom, talking down to your children. The president of Niger that has been ousted is in their custody. If you fire any rounds, anything you do there, he's in their custody. His life is at
stake.
At stake. Is that the best way? If it is you, you'll be asking people, go and clear them. You will be the first to be cleared. So they are not helping their friend, the former president, because he said he has resigned. You are saying you must put him back.
Put him back.
Why don't you allow some time? Let's see how it works out. Your interest too, like I've said, make two major issues. The gas pipe that is coming from Bonny through Niger to Libya, to Europe, to supply gas to European countries. That is there. That's a profit for Nigeria. Secondly, the Kainji Dam. We get our major supply of water from River Niger that flows through there. So what do they need from us here?